other print media, Chicago Sun-Times reporter, columnist, had something to say about the Sports Illustrated cover involving Serena Williams. That it might be too sexy. That's the complaint there. That's the complaint there. But before we get into any of that, this is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. You're listening to Clutch with Keon Rose. I'm Keon Rose, and I'd like to thank you for joining me today. I always appreciate what little bit of your time you're willing to give me. Never take it for granted, and I'd love to talk sports with you. You can always call the hotline, the Hot News Talk Radio hotline, 800-8949, 800-8949. And when we talk about the University of Georgia, one of the things that we really want to get into is quarterback play, because Grayson Lambert had an all right season this past season. And one of the big knocks against SEC schools in general is that the quarterback play is not always great. It's less than stellar. And Jacob Eason has committed to the University of Georgia, initially committed while Mark Richt was there. And of course, Richt is not. And he's decided to stay committed to the University of Georgia, the 6'6", Elite 11 quarterback, also now the Gatorade Player of the Year, an award that's gone to the likes of LeBron James and Peyton Manning. Bobby Wagner, the Seattle Seahawks, actually presented the award to Eason, who was humbled to get the award. And I really like him. I really do. And I was worried because when Mark Richt wasn't going to return to Georgia, in my mind, a lot of the recruits were going to start falling off, but not necessarily the ones from Georgia. And Eason is not. Eason is from Washington. If you were from Georgia, you're going to the University of Georgia, Mark Richt or not, you're going. It's happening. Like, there's nothing there for you to guess or figure about. You're going to Georgia, right? Like, there's nothing. It's not an open-ended conversation that you're going to Georgia. But Jacob Eason, he's from Washington. He doesn't have any reason to stay loyal or committed to Georgia. He didn't have anything with Kirby Smart. He didn't have anything with the university. And the fact that he's choosing to stay, good news for Bulldogs fans. So before we go further, you can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on YouTube. Simply search Hot News Talk Radio. If you want to listen to us on your mobile device, on your phone, your Android phone, your Apple phone, I don't know about BlackBerry, but you can check for the TuneIn Radio app. It's absolutely free in the Apple Store or the Google Play Store. And you search Hot News Talk Radio, give us a follow, press play. You can have Hot News Talk Radio everywhere you go. So the Sports Illustrated cover featuring Serena Williams as the Sports Person of the Year, and they do the award every single year. The Sports Person of the Year is Serena Williams, which to me, I get that. That makes sense to me. It's hard to have had a better year last year than Serena Williams. And there are two groups of people that are upset about the cover of this magazine. One group of people are, as Deadspin.com put it, the horse people, the people that wanted American Pharoah to be Sports Person of the Year. Look, I understand that American Pharoah had a heck of a year. I understand how important horse racing is in this country because we love to gamble on things and we love to put our money in places where we can't predict what's going to happen to try and make some more back. Gambling is fun. I understand that. That's the reason why we have DraftKings, we have FanDuel, we have all of those places where you can basically put your money up and see if you can lose it creatively. That's what gambling is, and we've got it. People are upset that American Pharoah did not win Sports Person of the Year. Understand this, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to take the controversial angle of this. I'm not a horse person. I'm really not that much of an animal person either. Like, I don't have any pets. I didn't grow up with any. We had some fish, but that was about it. I like animals. I do. I just don't have any. I don't live with any. So maybe this perspective of mine is going to be a little bit different. American Pharoah, the horse, shouldn't win Sports Person of the Year. Not a person. Why do we put people on magazines? Why do we put people on magazines? Because we can recognize them, because we can relate to them, because we can empathize with them. American Pharoah had an amazing year, won the Triple Crown for the first time in forever. American Pharoah's a horse, not the Sports Person of the Year. Maybe the Sports Horse of the Year, if that's where you want to go with that, but not the Sports Person of the Year. American Pharoah may not realize that American Pharoah won the Triple Crown. I'm not going to give you an absolute there. I'm not going to tell you for certain because I don't know what happens into the minds of animals, okay? In the minds of animals, we've learned all kinds of things. Science has uncovered lots of things about animals, okay? Dolphins can lie. Monkeys can lie. We didn't know that before. Animals are capable of a lot more emotional depth than we give them credit for. Elephants mourn their dead. I don't think American Pharoah knows that American Pharoah won the Triple Crown. I don't. You think a horse really knows when it won? Like, all of these things that we do with winning, and we're going to get to the second half of why the Serena Williams cover is controversial in a little bit. There's a Chicago Sun-Times columnist that thinks that the cover is too sexy, too sexualized. And we will get there because there's a lot there to unpack about women and their place in sports and all of that. But let's take a second here to just talk about American Pharoah, who is a horse, who people have wanted to win the Sports Person of the Year. You overcome adversity in athletics. You know that you have something that is against you. You have a wall that is against you. If you are a person, you can choose to keep going or you can choose to give up. If you are a horse, you don't make that choice. You run because you're a horse and there's a guy on your back and he's poking you with a stick and he's telling you to run faster. You're not the Sports Person of the Year. Okay? You're just not. Let it go. Okay? The Gatorade Player of the Year, we just talked about him. Jacob Eason, commit to the University of Georgia. Has to be a person. Do you understand what I'm saying? Has to be a person. Because only people can overcome adversity in that way. Okay? It's one thing to be an animal trying to survive. It's another thing to be a person winning a game, knowing you're losing the game, and deciding not to give up because you're playing a game. That is a choice. Okay? American Pharoah is losing the race, does not decide to run faster because he's losing the race. He's a horse. That's a fact. That cannot win Sports Person of the Year. It's a horse. What are we talking about? And you've got people on Twitter tweeting at Sports Illustrated about how, they're so disappointed that Serena Williams won instead of people are upset. Serena Williams almost had a single year Grand Slam. That almost never happens. And she was leveling people. Just leveling folks. And here we have people complaining about American Pharoah, who is a horse. I cannot stress this enough. I understand how repetitive this must sound. I cannot stress this enough. Horses cannot be the Sports Person of the Year because they don't understand what they're doing. You have to understand what you're doing. In my opinion, that's the only way. It's the only way. You know, the sports person of the year doesn't necessarily have to be the sports person of the year for what they do on the field or on the court or what have you. But they do have to be a human being. They have to be aware of the impact that they're making in sports. We have to be aware of that, right? We're not seriously getting mad because a horse didn't win sports person of the year. Is it an incredible achievement? Yes. Yes, it is. Does American Pharoah know how incredible of an achievement that is? No, American Pharoah does not. Anytime any athlete has to do something historic, a lot of times you'll see them make mistakes. You'll see them get nervous. Do you know why? Because they can place their accomplishment in historical context. American Pharoah doesn't know the last time another horse won the Triple Crown. We like horse racing because we like gambling. You understand? If this country did not have gambling, if there was a way to get rid of all gambling, we do not sit down and watch horses run around a track just for the joy of it. Like your high-end horse enthusiasts probably would. The same bozos complaining about American Pharoah not being sports person of the year. But your actual regular person, like, we don't know any of these other horses. Okay? If you weren't betting on those races, you don't know any of those other horses. What do you mean the sports person of the year has to be American Pharoah, who is a horse? Never gonna get off of that one there.
I'm not having it.
Not having it. American Pharoah is not a human being. It's not a person. Can't be the sports person of the year. Can't be the sports person of the year.
It's unbelievable what those boys did.
Unbelievable what that horse did. Still a horse. Still a horse. You understand? We can't do this. This is not a conversation that we're having. I refuse. I flatly deny and reject and rebuke everything about this conversation, because what we're talking about is whether or not a horse should have won sports person of the year in a year that was loaded with candidates for sports person of the year. We had Serena Williams. We had Steph Curry. We could put LeBron James in there every single year. A historic year for Jordan Spieth as far as golf goes. And we're talking about whether we should put a horse on the cover. I don't know, man. Like, I just don't get it. Like, I don't understand what it is that we're discussing. Somebody, 800-8949 is the Hot News Talk Radio hotline. 800-8949. Somebody explain to me what's happening there. If you want to talk about Georgia, Jacob Eason. If you want to talk about South Carolina, the Spurrier facility, the indoor practice facility is named after the Spurriers in South Carolina. How about that? You know, flowers, they're great. They are. But they're so overplayed. Don't do flowers for your wife, your girlfriend, your fiance, your significant other. Send them to the Woodhouse Day Spa. Currently, they're doing 12 days of Christmas gift giveaways. If you go to their Facebook page and participate, they're offering gift card promotions starting right now. For every $100 gift card or higher, you receive a $15 bonus gift card. For every $200 gift card or higher, you receive a $25 bonus gift card. And for every $300 gift card or higher, you'll receive a free, luxurious throw in-store only while supplies last. Woodhouse Day Spa, your fantastic alternative to flowers. This is AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio. You're listening to Clutch with Keon Rose. The other reason why people are mad about Serena Williams on the cover. Is it too sexy?
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a risk, fail miserably. I'm right, and I'm not wrong, and I'll never back down. Conflict works. Allow it.
It's The Herd with Colin Cowherd. Right here and everywhere. Noon Eastern.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
Don't be a victim. Arm yourself today at Carter Shooting Supply and Indoor Range, offering the finest selection of personal firearms and ammo, especially the hard-to-find ammunition. You know the police can't protect you. They show up after the crime is committed. The ability to protect yourself, your family, and when called upon, your nation is enshrined in the United States Constitution. Shop the largest selection of shooting supplies on their online store. CarterShootingSupply.com. Carter Shooting Supply and Indoor Range. The largest and cheapest selection in Chattanooga. 6210 Highway 58, Harrison. Call 344-1099. That's 344-1099. Keep your family safe this Christmas by buying them a certificate for Carter Shooting Supply Tennessee Handgun Permit Class. And stop by today to consult one of their qualified experts. They'll fit you perfectly to the firearm that meets your needs. Call 344-1099. You'll always find the widest selection of new and used firearms at Carter Shooting Supply and Indoor Range. 6210 Highway 58, Harrison. Call 344-1099.
Do I sound like a guy who loves to eat? Yeah. You too? Guess what? I cook the meanest hamburger in Hickson at my little restaurant, Armando's at Chester Frost Park. That's it. Right by the entrance, Chester Frost Park on Hickson Pike. I'd like you to come by and let me cook you dinner too. Bring your family, kids, friends. Lunch for common folk, just not the common lunch. Yeah, we're perfect for lunch. And dinner too. Meat guy? Yeah. Potatoes? Yeah. Catfish, BLTs, pecan pie, hot cup of coffee, or ice cold sweet tea. Armando's. That's us. Go on by 11 to 9, Monday through Saturday, right outside the entrance, Chester Frost Park, across from Thrasher.
Lay your burdens down at the woodhouse. Leave all your worries at the door. Just take some time. We're transforming life.
Happy holidays at the Wood. From the Woodhouse Day Spa. Holiday gift cards available at chattanooga.woodhousespas.com. I love my Flex loan from Advance Financial. I needed cash, I needed it fast, and I didn't want to get a payday loan. My Flex loan from Advance Financial is not a payday loan. It's a line of credit. I only pay for the cash I need, and I only pay for the time that I need it. There's no lump sum payment. My Advance Financial Flex loan is an open line of credit, and I can get cash anytime I need it.
Visit one of our 24/7 locations and get the cash you need today. Advance Financial. Welcome.
Compass Media Network's coverage of the NFL. Hi, this is Jerry Recco. Join Kevin Ray, Danny White, myself for all the action.
Hot News Talk 1240.
If it's the NFL, it's right here.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Expect some sunshine and pleasant weather out there through the afternoon. Highs 65 to 67 with some late clouds. Tonight, more rain will pour back in from the south and west. Lows lower 50s. A morning shower, then drier. Thursday highs 58 to 60. Breezy and colder on Friday. For the largest selection of fireworks, check out Exit 1A Fireworks, a Black Cat dealer with great prices. Pop a rocket, not your pocket, with Exit 1A Fireworks, open daily just off I-75 on Ringgold Road, East Ridge. And I'm Gene 12 Chief Meteorologist Patrick Moore.
On AM 1240, Hot News Talk Radio.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
Hot News Talk 1240.
Probably no. He is the very first guest that this show has ever had. My younger brother is a sports fanatic, media nut. Look, he consumes more movies than anyone I've ever met in my life. And I watch a lot of movies. He outwatches me by a very large margin. And also a huge basketball fan. I try and watch a lot of sports, keep everything in my view. He pretty much is just locked into basketball. He's a Chargers fan, so his football season's been over for a while. And he's been locked into basketball since about week 4 of the NFL season. His football times ended pretty early. Pretty early. So he's been locked into basketball for a while. So we're going to talk about that Rajon Rondo situation. He threw some homosexual slurs at the referee, and the referee then turned out to be gay. And I guess part of that question is it worse that he knew and said it anyway? There's a whole thing there. And so there's tons of things to unpack there. But speaking of unpacking, Serena Williams is the sports person of the year for Sports Illustrated, and a lot of chattering. First from the horse people who think that American Pharoah should have been on the cover. Wrong, incorrect, no. American Pharoah is a horse. Cannot stress that enough. American Pharoah, horse. Can't be the sports person of the year.
I'm not having it.
Not having it. Not having it. American Pharoah, you're a horse. You cannot be the sports person of the year. I'm sorry. I don't care if you won the fan vote. Fans are dumb. We do dumb things. Like tattoo Dabo Swinney's face onto ourselves and then have Dabo Swinney say that doesn't even look like him. Sports tattoos are proof that fans do dumb things. So no, fan vote doesn't mean anything to me. Fans don't know anything. You look at the All-Star game every year in every sport. It's always the most popular guys, never the guy that actually produced. You know, I mean, for goodness sakes, year after year after year, we're just sending Kobe to the All-Star game. He's looking older and older by the minute. The fans don't know anything. We don't know anything, okay? We don't. Like Charles Barkley likes to say it all the time. Fans don't know anything. That's because we don't. Even the fans that pay attention to stuff. Like I watch a lot of things. I follow a lot of stats, numbers. It's all in my purview. We don't know anything, okay? We just don't. It's hard to be an analyst as is. Being a fan is even harder. There's just information that you have to try harder to get access to. We don't know anything. American Pharoah winning the fan vote doesn't mean a darn thing. Serena Williams deserves to be on that cover. But that's a rant that can go on. I mean, they say that there's no such thing as a perpetual motion machine. Incorrect. I'd like to disagree. That topic is a perpetual motion machine. That could fire this show for months. Like I could talk about how horses are not people for months. You'd think that there's not a whole lot of depth of conversation there, but actually you'd be wrong. There's a ton of conversation to be had when it comes to horses not being people. Who knew? This is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio Clutch with Keon Rose. We're talking about Serena Williams being the sports person of the year on the cover. And Serena Williams is on the cover. She's sitting in a throne. It's a pretty cool cover. It's very well done by Sports Illustrated. She's sitting in a throne and she's got on a leather jacket and I guess what appears to be leotard. It shows a lot of her legs. It is a sexualized cover. Okay. I don't think that's not, I don't think that's up for debate. The issue, of course, is if it's too sexualized, and is that kind of the plight of women in sports? And Morrissey of the Chicago Sun-Times had something to say about that. Let's see. Here's a quote. The magazine put her on its cover looking like she wants more than one thing, and it's not a chat with the line judge. It's the photos. Whoop. We've got a call here. Caller, you're on the air.
I am with you. No horse deserves to be sports person of the year. Serena deserves it hands down.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, she had an amazing year when she won Wimbledon, the French Open, and the U.S. Open. It's just hard to say no to to her.
Absolutely. And you know what? The cover looks great. She's a beautiful woman, and they put her in a beautiful light. I'm all for it. I am all for it. I mean, and she's the whole package.
That is correct, sir.
So I'm with you. Keep on. No animals as sports people of the year. None. Zero. Only humans. Us humans need to stick together.
Absolutely. Trying to knock us off of our magazines now. Come on, man.
Show. Have a good day.
Thank you. You too, sir. Look, we love animals too much. We'll give them deference over people, over amazing athletes. You've never seen, nor will you ever see again, another Serena Williams in your life. And I like a lot of tennis players out there. I like Sharapova. I think Sloane Stephens can be pretty good in her career at some point. You're never going to see Serena Williams again. Never. Okay, and she wins Sports Person of the Year. Her pose on the magazine, I don't really have a problem with it, but a lot of people do. She's sitting on the throne. It doesn't look sexually suggestive to me. Like, maybe that's just me. There is a lot of her legs showing. Okay, so I suppose if you wanted to look at that sexually, you could, but it's not sexually aggressive in any way. It's more, if anything, it's more that she's just, I don't know, like her legs are showing a lot, and that's about it, really. Which, I don't know if you've watched tennis. That's most tennis outfits are, their legs are showing a lot. That's most of them. I don't know how much tennis you watch, but it's a pretty revealing thing already. This is not really much different from that. And also, Serena Williams has final say on what the cover looks like. She does. And she chose, I guess, in that cover to assert her sexuality. And that is part of athletes in sports, and it happens with men a lot too. I don't know if you've seen ESPN's The Body Issue. It's a bunch of naked athletes. Not for me, not my cup of tea. There's athletes that I like in there. Not interested in seeing any of them naked. John Wall, my favorite player in the league. Not interested in seeing him naked. He's in the magazine. Bryce Harper, my favorite baseball player in the league. Not interested in seeing him naked. He's naked in the magazine. Men get sexualized too. In fact, it's part of the package. If you're going to be in sports and you're going to make that leap to superstardom, sexuality is included. Very, very rarely do you get the Peyton Manning, Eli Mannings, that they're not necessarily attractive guys, so that they don't end up with that. They're not with that muscular build that they want to show the entire world. They just look like, Peyton and Eli probably, for all the world, look like most average guys ever. There's nothing sexualized about the Mannings, okay? Like nothing at all. That's part of that, where Serena Williams is attractive. She is physically attractive, and she can choose to use that as promotion if she'd like to, and she'd be stupid not to. Same thing goes for Bryce Harper. In fact, the NHL commissioner, not to bog you down with hockey talk, but the NHL commissioner last season, he wanted guys to start shaving their playoff beards because he was thinking a lot of these hockey players are really attractive guys. However, they all have beards, so they all look like the same guy. Like, you can't market them from a facial standpoint. This is why the NBA, in a lot of ways, does better than the NFL, because you can see guys' faces, and you've got casual fans. You can watch the game with your wife, watch the game with your girlfriend, and she'll go, oh, that guy's pretty cute. Why? Because she can see his face. She doesn't have an opinion on Adrian Peterson's face because she can't see it. Okay? Nobody knows what Derrick Henry looks like. Best player in college football, Heisman Trophy winner, doesn't know what he looks like because you can't see his face. It's just what it is. You can see people's faces and you can use your attractiveness as marketing. You can use your attractiveness to gain recognition. It happens in soccer with Cristiano Ronaldo. I mean, Ronaldo is a soccer player. He's also a sex icon. If people find you attractive, and that's a way that you can make money, I mean, as long as you don't go over the top and well overboard, you'd be stupid not to. I would if I could, but I don't think that anybody wants to see me naked. That's just how that is. I'm going to keep that to myself. You know what I'm saying? But if people want to, hey, you go for it. Again, don't go over the top. You are on the cover of Sports Illustrated. Don't actually be naked. But then again, ESPN's body issue is a bunch of naked athletes. Men and women. WNBA players, soccer players. And, you know, if you ever wanted to see Prince Fielder naked, it exists. I don't, but it's out there. You know what's boring? Nothing is more boring than flowers. You get your girlfriend, your wife, your fiance flowers. They're going to go flowers again. Treat them to something truly special. Woodhouse Day Spa. And because of their 12 Days of Christmas giveaways, you can get a $15 bonus gift card for every $100 gift card that you receive. For every $200 gift card, you can get a $25 bonus gift card. And for every $300 gift card, you can receive a free luxurious throw in-store only while supplies last. That's Woodhouse Day Spa. Don't get her flowers. Give her something special. This is Hot News Talk Radio. You're listening to Clutch with Keon Rose. And up next, me and my brother talk about basketball, homophobic slurs, what that means in today's age, in today's sports world. Coming up next.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds. We'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
While politicians debate climate change and taking our guns, they leave America vulnerable to disaster. You need to act now to keep your family safe and prepared. Do you have an emergency plan? Do you have long-term storage food? Do you have the skills and mindset to survive a disaster? If not, what are you waiting for? Call P5 Preparedness right now, 423-602-2175. Do you honestly think the government is going to help you? If you do, you are wrong, dead wrong. Don't get caught unprepared. Let the experts at P5 Preparedness get you ready for any emergency or disaster situation. Today, we offer a wide range of classes for the beginner on how to prepare, as well as the expert prepper. We stock a wide range of supplies, including long-term storage food, water filtration, outdoor gear, tactical gear, and plate carriers. P5 Preparedness, East Brainerd Road between I-75 and Gun Barrel Road. You will see the Army Deuce and a Half truck, 423-602-2175, 1309 Panorama Drive, Chattanooga, P5Preparedness.com.
Celebrate the holidays with cheer and basement bargain prices at One Stop Package in the Sunrise Market Center, Sunny Daisy. The brand new One Stop Package beverage store on Old Dayton Pike, just north of the Thrasher Light, with the best prices in town. Enjoy the lowest prices on beer, wine, liquor, and soft drinks. Hey, mention you heard this ad on Hot News Talk Radio and get 5% off your purchase. That's right. Mention you heard this on the radio and you'll get 5% off. The brand new One Stop Package beverage store in Sunny Daisy. Their prices are always the lowest prices in town. The lowest prices you'll find in the finest of adult beverages. The brand new One Stop Package in South Sunny Daisy at the Sunrise Market, featuring great prices on gas, bread, and milk. The Sunrise Market just across from Charlie's in Sunny Daisy. And remember, always drink responsibly.
Get 10% off every case of wine.
The Fed raising rates, China's economy in trouble. Don't let headlines derail your long-term financial strategy. I'm Edward Jones financial advisor Patrick Neal. At Edward Jones, we provide the tools for a reasoned, disciplined approach to investing. Stop by my office next to the Target Shopping Center in Hickson, or call me at 423-870-7894. That's Patrick Neal at 870-7894. Edward Jones, making sense of investing. Member SIPC.
I'm the type of guy that likes a big breakfast, a couple of eggs, bacon, and some gravy and biscuits. I get that at Wimpy's. I know they have specials at lunch every day. That includes a big meat and 3 menu. At night, I want some good comfort food. Maybe some smoked brisket, pulled barbecue, or ribs. They've got that too. Wimpy's the type of place where you can go in and have a good conversation, catch up what's going on in Saudi Daisy, and have some great food. That's why I go to Wimpy's. You know where it's at, on Dayton Boulevard, right across from City Hall. That's Wimpy's. Give them a call, 423-332-6201. Did you hear me? It's 332-6201. Wimpy's. They're even on Facebook at Wimpy's. I know your mouth is watering just like mine, so let's go to Wimpy's.
This is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. You're listening to Clutch with Keon Rose. I'm Keon Rose. Thank you so much for joining me today. And, you know, part of being in the media is being able to just, you know, bring your friends in and just talk about stuff. So here I have my brother on the line to help me talk about the whole situation that happened with Rajon Rondo and the homophobic slurs that he tossed out at an NBA referee. That NBA referee then turned out to be gay, and a whole firestorm has ensued. Thank you, Kerwin, for joining me here on Clutch with Keon Rose.
You're welcome, Keon. I was a little disappointed. You usually introduce me as a pseudo basketball philosopher, but okay.
You are. You know what? That's my bad. That's fair. You are. As far as fans go, probably the most educated basketball fan that I know.
That's it's a little shameful on your part. You should probably get smarter friends, but
that's fair. That's fair. But you know what? I'm trying to toss you out a compliment here. I'm trying to toss you a bone after I'm backpedaling, after I botched the intro, after I realized I didn't think about the intro at all until I had to introduce you.
Wow, I made no thought. This is amazing. Okay, we can conversation. Let's get to the topic.
Yeah, we can get to the real topic here, but you know, I have this show as an excuse to do two things: talk to you on the air for some reason, and just play random sound bites.
I'm not having it.
So there you go.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I ran that Stephen A. Smith bite like four times already today. It's too funny.
Which one?
I'm not having it.
The Stephen A. Smith, he's not having it, Kerwin.
Oh, he's not having it?
He's not having it.
He's looking directly into the camera.
And he's gonna say it again.
You don't want to make an enemy of me.
But before we jump into this, let me just play the long cut of this again.
You don't want to make an enemy out of me. And I'm looking right into the camera. And I'm gonna say it again. You do not want to make an enemy out of me. I'm not having it.
Sorry, I just played that again. I just played it again. I understand that I didn't actually give you a heads up there because you can't hear it over the phone. But I played the sound
out on all the glory, man.
I know. What you're gonna have to do is check it out on YouTube. Check out the show on YouTube. It's up there. It literally is just me pressing that over and over again. That and Kirk Cousins. I love that bite. But back to the subject matter that we actually.
And every show is like, you like that?
I almost want to.
Every single show, every single time,
every single one. I'm going to take that into consideration. I really do like that idea. But Rajon Rondo, of the Sacramento Kings, point guard, he was ejected from a game and then just started tossing homophobic slurs just out of his ears, just flinging them left and right, and lost his mind a little bit. Could you break down what happened there?
Well, you know, Rajon Rondo, a very fiery point guard, always been a fiery kind of dude. There was that interesting the interesting Pablo Torre piece, I believe it was Pablo Torre, who wrote about Rajon Rondo and how just completely bonkers he is, kind of. Just that competitive drive that's broken to a certain extent that's what makes him great. But he was playing. He was in the game. He had what he felt was a bad call by the referee, Bill Kennedy, called against him. They get into some words, and then he stares him down. Bill Kennedy tosses him, and Rondo loses his mind, starts throwing slurs, and he calls him an MFer and the whole 9 yards. Later, Bill Kennedy tells Yahoo Sports and that he's gay. And so now this thing, which was just sort of like this isolated incident that happens, every once in a while, a player will lose their mind against the referee. A couple weeks ago, Jason Kidd slapped the ball out of a referee's hand and got suspended. But the rule book says that, for obscene language and refusal to leave the court, I think it calls for 1 game. So the NBA's hands, according to the CBA that they signed with the players, a document designed to protect the players and the NBA to a certain extent, it's designed to do that. And so they really couldn't give him a ton of games, which is kind of what, from a PR and from just a actual that's what you deserve kind of perspective, that you would hope Rajon Rondo gave. So they gave him 1 game. He lost pay for that day, so that's the equivalent to $84,000 in a suspension for 1 game, which is kind of in course with previous suspensions for, racial or homophobic slurs. Kobe had his incident and got fined $100,000. Joakim Noah had his, and I think he lost $90,000. Neither of them got suspended a game, but there wasn't this sort of climate that we are in now, where we're trying to, where the world seems to have shifted to this point of view, where we have to protect smaller peoples and groups and subsections and things of that nature, the minority groups against these bigger, the bigger group at large from, protecting their rights and their ability to exist in the world. And I think that's kind of what we're up against, and it's a real pickle for the NBA.
And Rondo apologized afterwards on Twitter, which I don't know. I guess the question is, the NBA obviously can't make him do more. They suspended him for the game and the $84,000.
Yeah.
Is there anything more insincere than a Twitter apology?
He apologized, but a lot of people felt like he kind of, caught that behavior was bad, but he made some qualifications, and no one really, and the driving force of the apology wasn't there. Plus, it's on Twitter, doesn't mean as much. He actually had to come out today and re-apologize. Like, he had to make it clear that I think he said something like from the depths of his heart that he didn't mean it, kind of thing. Like, it's just not what he's about. That's how he phrased it. But a lot of people are saying, he has to do the whole thing. Like, when Kobe got caught on camera saying it towards a referee, he got docked $100,000, but then he also came out to the media and did a public apology, and he started advocating for gay rights and all that kind of stuff. Like, he went the full 9 yards to make recompense and to make up for his mistake. We haven't really seen that from Rondo yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, because people want full contrition. A Twitter apology doesn't come off as really sorry. You know what I mean? Like, if I offend you and then apologize to you on Twitter, there's something very insincere about that.
Yeah, and so, it's sort of leading this weird thing where people are like, well, the NBA should suspend him for more games. Well, I don't think they can, because that would violate the rights of the players. You can't suspend them twice. I mean, unless you're Roger Goodell, obviously.
Yeah, and then rules don't apply to you, and you don't
try
care.
to. But it was just a strange sort of situation, and it's another thing to consider. Like, another kind of weird angle. I think we talked about this. Is was there any sort of malicious intent? Like, in the real world, if you commit a murder or you have assault, we actually do consider, what frame of mind were you in? Did you do it with malice aforethought? So let's say Rondo knew, because the NBA family is a kind of close-knit group, did he know Bill Kennedy was gay when he used those words? Then this whole thing takes on a whole darker element, and I suppose you can't really know that unless you're a person who has talked to Rondo and just happen to know that he knows stuff about Bill Kennedy. It's one of those strange things. This situation is really just not great for the NBA's image, which has always been one of the more progressive leagues in terms of how they consider people. Because, they had the whole Jason Collins thing. He was the first believe, the first active pro player to be openly gay on an NBA roster, right?
I believe so, yes. I believe so.
I don't know. It's a weird situation and, kind of a troubling one.
And that's true. This is AM 1240 Hot News Talk Radio. You're listening to Clutch with Keon Rose. Joining me is my brother, basketball nut, and pseudo basketball philosopher. I'm going to find a better thing for you with that. But let's just change gears here. Something much shorter than that. But I want to jump here because we're going to leave the world of sports, shockingly. This is a sports show, but I do leave the world of sports occasionally and ask you a movie question. I know. But Christmas is right around the corner. What movie should I be watching this holiday season?
What movies? Oh, man, there's so many. Creed. I know that was a sports movie, but Creed is amazing. Guys,
Creed
go watch
good.
Creed. It's the best thing since – it's the best boxing movie to come out since basically The Fighter.
And there's more boxing in this one than The Fighter. The Fighter has a lot of drama.
Yeah. The Fighter's really good. If you're more of a comedy person, Results is a good romantic-ish comedy. If you have to watch something with your lady this holiday season, you probably will. And then, obviously, there's the three big, gigantic movies coming out at the end of the year. You know, you got your Star Wars, which I guess everybody's going to go see that anyways. I don't think I need to tell anybody to go see Star Wars. You got The Revenant, which is the Leo film. It's going to be that movie that Leo wins the Oscar for that nobody sees.
Who's the director?
They all spent their money on Star Wars and stuff like that. And then there's the Quentin Tarantino film, which is coming out Christmas Day.
The Hateful Eight.
It's Tarantino, so you can't miss that.
That's true. Who's the director of The Revenant?
Alejandro D. Inarritu. And I probably lost half of the audience just for the snap of the finger just there. But
his other movie,
Birdman, which won the Oscar for Best Film last year. It was a phenomenal film. He's a smart guy, smart director.
Yeah, man. I mean, Birdman's really cool. Birdman's really cool. That's a good movie.
It's a strange movie. I'll grant anybody who if you're willing to take that risk. It's a strange movie, but it's a lot of fun.
All right. Well, thank you, brother, for joining me today here on Clutch with Keon Rose. This is Kerwin. And where can people find you on the internet, bro?
At thecourtjesteryouth.blogspot.com. And my Twitter handle is thecourtjester.
All right. That is my brother, Kerwin Rose. Thank you. I'll be seeing you later, bro.
Sounds good. See you later, buddy.
That is my brother. He's not a basketball fan. He's also a big movie fan. He's a writer, and he's got a lot of stuff going on. So I'm going to try and help get the word out. This has been Clutch with Keon Rose. Thank you for joining me. And remember, if you have someone special, you want to give them a gift for the holidays, don't give them flowers. Ugh, how boring. Send them on a trip to Woodhouse Day Spa. Currently doing their 12 Days of Christmas giveaways. You can check them out on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, it's not how you start, it's how you finish. Always stay clutch, and I'll see you in 23 hours.
You give us 12 minutes and 40 seconds, we'll give you Chattanooga and the world.
News Talk 1240.
I'm blowing everything up. We're starting over. I'm doing a new show. I want guys who push it to the middle of the table and go over the top. Take a